Hey there, I'm Sage and you're watching D&D Daily, where we release new D&D content every day. If you're looking for D&D inspiration and information, then you are in the right spot, because today we are going to be talking about the Innkeeper, a heartfelt halfling dedicated to his hearth. In order to play the Innkeeper, you are going to need to be a College of Lore Bard, as well as a Mark of Hospitality variant halfling. You are also going to need to take the Inheritor background. The Innkeeper is unsurprisingly a longtime innkeeper of a small village and has been for a short 80 years. He loves the songs and stories that come with running an inn, but most of all he loves making people feel at home. He would have happily continued working in the same small inn and the same small town until the end of his days. However, he received an awfully official looking message. In fact, it may just be the most official letter the Innkeeper had ever laid eyes on. Reading this letter, he learned that he was the next of kin to an uncle who lived on the other side of the land. Places the Innkeeper had never heard of. Apparently, this long-lost uncle had a young son and a fortune. The son needed a caretaker, and it was either going to be the Innkeeper or the local orphanage. Having no children of his own and having heard tales of the struggles of orphanages, the Innkeeper decided to go get this young boy and bring him back to the inn to raise him. Unfortunately for the Innkeeper, the news of this boy and the fortune reached family members that were greedy for the wealth. Little did the Innkeeper know that he and the boy would have a massive target on their backs, because if they somehow died, the other family members would become instantly rich. The Innkeeper has set out on this journey being woefully unprepared, so hopefully he finds some party members that can help him along the way. The Innkeeper has a heart of gold. He would not hurt a fly. He loves making everyone feel at home around him. He's a lover of life, he enjoys music, good stories, wine, and food. His belly even reflects this, being a rather round sort of halfling. The Innkeeper always has a smile to give and loves to make the people around him feel like they're just by a warm hearth. He'd be a wonderful friend to have. In combat, the Innkeeper has never fought a single fight in his whole life. And if he had his way, he would never have to. As such, I wouldn't prepare spells based on what is good in a fight, but rather what would be good in an inn. For example, Vicious Mockery is normally the bard's best combat cantrip, but the Innkeeper would be far more likely to pick Prestidigitation to quickly clean up a mess on a table than he would to take a cantrip that could hurt somebody. The Innkeeper is a support through and through. He heals and buffs as much as possible. If he is forced to fight, he really shouldn't be good at it. The Innkeeper can use cutting words to debuff his enemies' attempts at hurting his allies, but I would flavor this as less cutting and more like lightly scolding. The Innkeeper can also give inspiration to buff his allies' attempts at getting things done. Out of combat, the Innkeeper makes a good face for the party. Everybody loves a good Innkeeper, and because his intentions are so pure, people who are normally wary might let their guard down around such earnest kindness. The Innkeeper also would support his party in any way he can. He would constantly monitor the party's disposition, the same way he monitored his inn's patrons, and expertly provide what they need. This may be in the form of spells. This may be in the form of them just needing some emotional support. This may be in the form of him helping them lift things even though he's not the strongest. He's just a man out to help people. In the Innkeeper's downtime, the Innkeeper would take the filling of his inn wherever he goes. He would make his companions and all those around him feel at home. He would cook, he would clean, he would tell stories, sing songs, and listen to other people's stories, and so on. He is super empathetic and would go out of his way to help anybody in need. The key mechanics of playing the Innkeeper is that he is very much a flavor build. As such, the key thing you need to do to play the Innkeeper is actually to restrict your options. His main restriction is that he does not want to hurt anyone. He doesn't even want to hurt their feelings, let alone their body. Another big restriction is that he doesn't pick optimal spells as we normally view them. Rather, he picks spells that are optimal for being an Innkeeper. Some standout cantrips that I can see him using would be Dancing Lights, in order to give a cool atmosphere where there are lights moving around while people are eating, just to create an ambiance. He would also take Mending to fix people's clothes and to fix objects that break, maybe glass, glass falls, or You know, a million different ways to use mending as an innkeeper. Message would be cool because he could say, "Excuse me, sir, your dinner's ready," just kind of pointing towards the upstairs room. Minor illusion to help him put on little shows or to put out sounds. While playing the Innkeeper, your main weakness is your combat ability. You're not built for combat, especially not one-on-one combat. That would be a nightmare. You're not very self-reliant. You really can't do much on your own without your party members. You really rely on them to get you through situations. And you're squishy. You have very low AC and very few spells that are going to keep you alive. You got to play safe. Though he is weak, he is also brave. He would put himself in between an arrow and his friend, without a doubt. The Innkeeper makes a good DMPC. He'll never steal the spotlight from the party. He'll always support them and make their travels easier. And he'll give them a reason to be heroes. As a DMPC, the Innkeeper also gives an outlet for the DM to make the world feel alive. There is a living, breathing person with very specific goals and very specific morals. And he's very big into stories and being artistic and making it feel vibrant. He would bring a vibrancy to your campaign that may help it. The Innkeeper also naturally fits into a protect the president type scenario. You could easily create a combat based around protecting him and trying to move him from one spot to another while a bunch of enemies are attacking. This could create an intense combat even if the enemies weren't particularly strong. This kind of combat can keep your combats fresh and can make them have a sense of urgency. We're going to create a series dedicated to discussing creative combats, so stay tuned for that. How would you use the Innkeeper in one of your games? What would you do to make him better? Let us know in the comments below. You can also give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down button letting us know what you thought of this video. Either way, it's going to help us know what you want better. And on the next episode of D&D Flavor Builds, we're going to be talking about the man trying to map out his life, the cartographer. Hit the subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss it. See ya!